And we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the quarterfinals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 69. Nice. We have our fresh best of 3 series, and sporting in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing his new team, Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eba. Let's go. We have our Protoss versus Zerg. We have our quarterfinals here. Eba has been looking strong recently, don't get me wrong, but he's now up against the number 2 seed of the tournament, NightMare. He did recently qualify for Home Story Cup, and again, he has been looking better and better as of late. We'll see if he can be brought down. Meanwhile, if you're in the chat, before I forget, of course, get your Gamba going. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. As we're selling into this PvZ. As a reminder as well, I should have mentioned this earlier instead of going for the break. If you want to help support this tournament, if you want to help support the Sparkling Tuna Cup, you can do so via Patreon. The tournament is funded by the people, for the people, via Patreon. You know, the entirety of the prize pool is funded through Patreon. Likewise, not just this tournament, but other tournaments as well, like Master Swan Open that we casted last night, and Sea Duckling Open as well, which will be in a couple of weeks. So all of our events are funded by Patreon, so if you want to become a supporter of these tournaments and help grow them and help fulfill them as well, you can do so via the command in the chat if you wish. By the masses, for the masses. Exactly. So you can do so via Patreon if you wish. You can also gain replay packs as well from our tournaments and from events that we have permission to share as well. So if you're interested, you can do so. Otherwise, just following, just watching, it's good enough, man. It's good enough. Thank you for the patrons, and thank you for those supporters as well out there. Even if you're just watching, do appreciate it. As we're settling in, we're settling into our PvZ. So far, standard openers, Hatch Gas Pool, likewise NightMare going for a Stargate opener. Talking about our players here, we spoke last series about Rebellion. We spoke about how he is typically more of an aggressive player and he thrives in the mid game. I mean, we saw that last series, how Rebellion, he went for a 2-base all-in with charge. Before that, he went for a standard opener into Hidden Glaive Adepts. Here, NightMare is more standard when it comes to his openers. Likewise, though, he can be very aggressive on a 3-base setup. But he's less all-in than, say, a Rebellion or a Lunacy, for example. NightMare does dive into the main. Going for the mineral line, gets 1 drone, not bad. 1 worker does go down. Gets a Ling, gets another Ling as well. This one Adept getting quite a lot, actually. Even trying to go for a second worker. Will eventually be forced out, but he gets 4 Lings! 4 Lings and 1 drone! Should not escape, but a second Adept has arrived. Oh. And NightMare maybe overextending a little bit here as Ling Speed kicks in, and this Adept shouldn't get much done. Up! Once another does get 1 more drone. Aye. It's going to be 6 Lings and 2 drones. Not a bad trade for NightMare. Back at home, looking to expand, taking a 3rd base. Oracle's moving out across the map. And a second Oracle behind this as well. Again, just triple Oracle into a 3rd. Standard economic build here by NightMare. He is moving out. Likewise, Eba moving out to scout the 3rd to make sure that it is being taken. To make sure that NightMare isn't doing anything too crazy. Oh, nice positioning with the Queens. Queens, they get a lot of hold damage on that first Oracle. Gets 2 drone kills, but the Oracle barely does escape. Very nice movement here out of Eba. So much hull damage at the same time. Lings, they get across the map, but there isn't depth to defend back at home. So NightMare does defend. Likewise, the drones! Oh my god. They come back a little bit too soon. 1 more drone goes down. Oh, for the Oracle though, well worth it. NightMare getting too greedy. Aye. A little bit too greedy, a little bit too cavalier. NightMare gets punished. Heads towards the natural. Spores in position. NightMare looks like he will get 1 more drone, gets 2 more drones. 5 in total. Not bad, but once again, the Oracle takes a lot of hull damage and is that much less effective moving forward. So from here, Eba can stabilize. He can stabilize, he can drone up, he can saturate his bases, nothing really to stop him. Queens are spreading out. And the pressure is on NightMare. Now, he has made a third Oracle, does join up with us with the second, can one-shot drones, likewise has 3 Adepts on the ground as well to threaten that mineral line. And there's that much more pressure on NightMare to get more damage. So if he can, for now, he's going for the 4th. And can he force a cancel? Well, he might be able to. It's going to be close. The base is getting low, and it looks like it will be cancelled. Up, just barely. No, that's a kill. Ay, ay, ay. Doesn't get cancelled. That's a kill instead. That is 300 minerals down the drain. Ay, ay, ay. I was praising Eva's defense earlier, and it was very impressive, at least against the Oracle defense. But not so much here. Defending that 4th base is going to be killed. Eva instead double expanding. I mean, he needs to. He has to. Has to back off, double expand. Lings, they are building up behind this. They do threaten the 3rd base, but NightMare is in position. NightMare is ready. And suddenly Eva's in a bit of trouble here. Again, Eva just trying to recover, taking his gases, massing out more Lings. I believe Eva did skip his Roach Warren. Yep, no Roach Warren, no Bailey Nest. Eva, it looks like he's headed towards Hydra production. Technically, Eva could go into Spire play and into Mutas, but I'm feeling like Ling Hydra into Lurker tech instead. We'll see. And speaking of Hydras, there it is. Hydra Den has been placed here behind the mineral line, and NightMare likewise is working towards a splash damage. Second Robo, the Bay, into either Colossus or Disruptors, or both. Both have their place. As Eva has a mass amount of Lings, hits a 3rd base. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Eva, and he will catch out some of these Stalkers. Link is done. Shield battery goes down. Cannon as well. This is an okay amount of damage with Eva. He was hoping for a little bit more. Yeah, the Oracles, they race back home. A lot of Lings go down. That was how many? 46 Lings falling. Ay, ay, ay. Not quite worth it for Eva. And NightMare's moving out. Now he does counterattack. Now this can't really threaten to kill Eva, but this is really just to clear up creep. Just to deny creep, deny overlords, deny vision. See here, tumors are going down. NightMare, he's setting up for the mid game. He's setting up for his eventual Colossus push. So it clears up a lot of that creep. Eva, his 4th base, is getting up and running. Getting a 5th as well. Rotating around. Sorry, NightMare rotating around. Catching more tumors. Oh, getting a queen as well. And Eva behind this going for a desperation. Ling run by the 4th base is exposed. There's a shield battery, there's a cannon, there's 2 cannons even. And Lings, where do they hit? They come across the Colossus. Not like this. Eva, he has to retreat, has to get the hell out of there. Back at home, he is now getting into his Lurker production. Now, if he can get a decent amount of Lurkers, then he can stabilize, he can defend, he can survive, and eventually max out. But the Lurkers are still in the way, and here comes NightMare trying to break Eva before the Lurker count gets too high. How many Lurkers do we have? 4. Soon to be 7. 7 Lurkers for Eva. They do pop out. NightMare has the army supply lead, has revelations. And does he push in? Just waiting for a Zealot run by. Here on the right hand side. And the army pushes in. Oof. Into a concave of Lurkers. NightMare has to back off. Likewise, Zealots do back off as well, but now he's up to 3 Colossi. He's pushing in. He's going for the kill. It catches out the Lurkers. 1, 2 Lurkers going down. Clutch Transfuse. Eva does buy time. Meanwhile, the Lings, they're busy with the Zealots. That's a massive amount of Zealots, and it looks like NightMare, he has too much. He breaks through the Zealots. Sorry, breaks through the Lings. Breaks through into the mineral line as well. 22 drones go down. GG gets called. It's just too much, and NightMare takes game number 1. GG. Very intense game. They're very back and forth as well. Eva had his own moments, but losing his expansion and losing all those Lings as well in the follow-up was brutal. NightMare punishing Eva and snowballing out of control. Eba definitely had an opportunity there to try to hold on with the bare minimum amount of lurkers, but barely did not have enough. And GG. GG, well played. NightMare takes game 1. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. We'll see if Eba can bounce back. As a NightMare is one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. Is one of the favorites. Likewise, I believe Eba is the #1 Zerg player in the tournament as well. Yep, he isn't just the one, he is the only Zerg player left, surrounded by a sea of Protoss and Terran. We have some more matches wrapping up. We have Trigger versus Geralt, PvP in the quarterfinals. We have Beyond versus Holmono, TBT. And we have soon-to-be Art versus either Christiana or Hacker is Top. Christiana, of course, Protoss player. So is Art. Hacker is Top is a random player. So Eba, he is the Zerg representative. Can he go further? Can he force the ace match? Can we have some more diversity here? Coming into the semis, we'll see. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing Platinum Heroes. It is Eba. Eba going for a 15-15. Okay, going for a very safe opener here. Allows Eba to expand and take his natural before the probe arrives. So very nice start by Eba. The downside here is that his gases are going to be a little bit later. It does mean that NightMare can also respond with greed and be a little bit more active with his adepts and be more careless with them as well. As it is going to be a little bit longer for the Zerg player to embrace Ling speed and Ling aggression. Spawning pool is on the way. So we have Eba mixing things up slightly here. We'll see what this leads into. Likewise, the NightMare going for the gate expand into a standard opener. We're settling in. Here we go. Likewise, they're loading into a much larger map as well. We're loading into Golden Aura. As a result, we could be seeing some more, I don't know, Roach heavy play. Eba could try to once again go Ling Hydra, but he does have to tighten up his early game defense to actually make that work. We'll see if he can. See if he can. As NightMare checks the third base. Behind the Cybercore is finishing up. The pilot is going to be placed a little bit closer to the main base. Interesting. It should still be a Stargate, but it could also be a Twilight Council. There we go. Stargate has been placed. It's going to be a standard opener out of NightMare, going for Oracles into a third. Now, we saw how amazing the defense was from Eba last game. I'm talking about the Oracle defense, more so than anything. We'll see if Eba can do the same. Without losing the fourth base this time, of course. Hopefully. As Eba has to pull away. But yeah, we're missing some of our other Zerg regulars today. I just realized. No Nikic. Like Nikic, he's usually also here. Also, you know, not a stranger to making it to at least the semifinals. Nikic, of course, the Zerg player from Belarus. But he's not here this week. Likewise, this week there's no Young Yakov. Young Yakov, he's also... I think Young Yakov was only played like in one STC. Ooh, as two drones go down. Nice pickups here out of NightMare. And he even gets away with the Adept. Oh my god, on 1 HP. The 1 HP Adept. 2 drones. Gets out of there. Crazy. 2 drones on 1 lane. Meanwhile, the second Adept does bust into the main. Gets surrounded. Ooh, not as fortunate as the other Adept. His shutdown is punished. NightMare getting a little bit too greedy. He does race back with those Adepts to defend the third. Meanwhile, Eva, again, no link speed, or I mean, no gas yet for link speed, I should say. I should emphasize. Oracle takes a lot of hits. Even a couple more. But no Sport the Natural. Eva getting punished. One drone goes down. Oh my god, but does catch the Oracle. NightMare overextending. Not bad. So Eva only losing 2 drones, snipes the first Oracle. Very similar to last game, actually. If you remember, I believe NightMare also only got 2 drones and lost the first Oracle as well. So very nice defense out of Eva. He was able to bait the Oracle in. Likewise, second Oracle hits the natural. Queens are getting in position. Oh, and once again, NightMare getting too adventurous with the Oracle control. Ay, ay, ay. Down to 9 HP, forced to recall. Calm down. I mean, again, this is still very similar to the previous game state where NightMare, he was taking a lot of hits with his Oracles, but he still killed the expansion. He still killed the 4th, so there's still an opportunity for NightMare as he moves out. The move out was spotted by the Overlord. Eva is aware. Eva's getting ready. Links are amassing. Remember, no link speed because of the gasless opener, because of the 15-15. Link speed is so delayed. But it's about to finish up. You want NightMare, he rotates. Does get a couple of tumors. He delays the 4th quite heavily. That's all he's really hoping for. The 4th has been placed towards the left-hand side. NightMare did spot it, but is unable to get on top of it now with link speed. So Eva, he survives, he defends, he saturates his 3rd. But NightMare still wants that expansion. You see the probe pushing forward. We'll set up a proxy. Eva checks. Eva barely will miss the pylon. And how many gateways is the real question? Okay, we have 2 gateways of the natural. We have, soon to be 4 gates in the main. So 6 in total so far. And NightMare, do we proxy 2 extra gateways? Do we go for an AK3 base all in? Yeah, we are. Let's go. NightMare is doubling down on purely Blink Stalkers. Setting up a stasis. His goal here is not just break the 4th, but even push on further than that. Regardless, 4th base looks like it is going to go down. Eva's still trying to mass up Hydras. Remember, he skipped the Roach Warren, so it's only Ling Hydra. And the 4th base is going to go down. Eva trying to take a backup 4th. Lings go for a counterattack. They're going for the 3rd. Shield battery is... Sorry, the 3rd base is exposed. Going for the shield battery. Overcharge gets popped. And NightMare, he should be able to defend. Shield battery does barely fall, though. At the same time, Stalkers, they push in. And there's not much at home. Yeah, there's no Lings. Hydras are still in production. Queens are exposed. And NightMare, he's breaking through. There we go. Lings, they have that spawned in. That's a lot of Lings. Eva, he holds. Did race back home for a moment. NightMare still reinforcing. And behind this, NightMare, he did take a 4th. Did expand. Lost 8 probes at his 3rd. Eva, he's trying to hold on, struggling to even. 20 more Lings in production. Against purely Link Stalkers, Ling Hydra can actually fare better. As long as we actually have Lings, though. Stasis goes off. Eva backs off as well. He has to hold on to the ramp, hold on to the high ground. Overseer confirms lack of gases and saturation. And Eva, can he get on top of that 4th? Lings, they do run past. This is a warp in just in time. NightMare will defend. Again, NightMare, he's focusing on a purely gateway composition until now. And now he has the Temple Archives on the way. That's going to be for Storm and Archons. Poking forward. Amassing up more Hydras. I mean, Eba has potential to break out and to snowball out of control before Storm kicks in, but it looks like Eba, he's defending. He's clearly defending. Lurker Gen is on the way. Looks like the goal here for Eba is to survive until Lurker attack. What I'm concerned by is the economy. Like, Eba, his drone count is still very low. And he's still in 4 bases, and even base count with the Protoss. Never something you want to see. Eba needs a 5th. Needs to break out. Zealot Runby is being set up. The 4th base is looking quite exposed. At the same time, though, Eba setting up a surround. And who strikes first? There is that stasis. Bear that in mind. There we go. Eba trying to come in for that surround as well. Catches the Oracle. Catches the Stalkers. Not bad. Yeah, most Stalkers do fall. Eba shuts this down. Gets eyes on the proxy. And will clean up so many Stalkers. A big loss here for NightMare. And Eba, he's morphing in the Lurkers. 14 Lurkers on the way. That's a lot of Lunkers, papi. 17! 17 Lunkers. Let's go. NightMare is taking it to Sky Tolls, but that's a little bit too late. Fleet Beacon is on the way. Eba, now is the time. I'm not too fond of the idea of Eba waiting to max out and waiting for the Hive, waiting for upgrades. And when NightMare has so little. Like, this is NightMare's army. Mainly Zealots. And some Storms. Wings are coming in from behind. They're going for the High Templar. The Storms. Bet out one. One Storm gets baited. But again, this army for NightMare, it's so fragile. If given time, though, NightMare, he will mass up Archons and mass up Skytoss. Eba making 7 more Lurkers. Jesus. How many Lurkers? He's getting 24. 24 Lunkers, papi. Lurker range is on the way. And again, this is going to be amazing before Skytoss. Like, that's 2 more Stargates in production for NightMare. NightMare needs a little bit more time. And Eba's focusing on being defensive. He's taking a 5th. Eba is staying back at home, and he's giving NightMare the time he needs. I mean, I say that. He still needs quite a little bit more time getting into double Immortal production. NightMare backs up. Getting another expansion. Eba is moving out. He's looking to strike. I believe NightMare only has 2 Immortals. That's a lot of Storms, though. First Storm does land. Eba does not have Hive upgrades. He only just got Lurker range. Another Storm does catch the end of the army. Another Storm as well. Still plenty more to work with. Oh my god, the Spine shots, though. The Lurker shots. And they punish the ground army of NightMare. And Eba is slowly gaining ground. NightMare, he does abandon his base. He's going for a Zealot Run-By, defending with purely Storm. Mothership has arrived. Zealots are spotted. Eba has to respond. Oof. And it looks like Eba, he will go to some of the expansion. The 5th base is denied. NightMare catching reinforcements. Again, NightMare, he cannot push into this, so he's catching reinforcements instead. He's rotating around. Building up more Immortals. Storm connects. Eba looking for... Sorry, NightMare looking for another way in. Eba's maxed. He's maxed out. He has the Lurker upgrades. And I feel like Eba, he can collapse on this position. Alas, the Zealot Run-By is keeping him pinned back at home. He's still threatening him. Does find the Zealots as well. No, not gonna be the best trade for these Lings. But here we go, Nida Storm into the main! Uh-oh. If NightMare doesn't notice, does he? Carrier production has begun. Again, eBay is on a timer. And the Nidus will finish. Yeah, NightMare, he didn't notice. Lurkers into the main. At the same time, Lurkers are back at home to defend. NightMare doesn't push in, forced to recall. Does recall back home. Carriers, they're a couple of seconds away from finishing. They're in production. And we do recall actually on top of the Lurkers. We tried to. Up. Lurkers are forced out. Eva pushing towards the 5th. The Lings, they force out more storms. They catch the High Templar. And can Eva deny these expansions? And he is trying. Nice Storm is done. Corruptors are amassing. They're moving out across the map. Zealot Rumbai doesn't really get much damage yet, but it's headed towards the natural. Drones are going to be falling. But he does cut off NightMare. He will be taking down this 5th base. Nexus is going to fall down. Zealots get cleaned up back at home. NightMare catching reinforcements. Picks off a couple of Corruptors. Not bad. The carriers have arrived. Eva will back off. Meanwhile, oh my god, 18 drones! The Zealot run by! Aye, aye, aye. 18, 25 drones go down. That is brutal. Eva, his economy is crippled. Tells us so much to the one Zealot run by. Meanwhile, NightMare reinforcing, now with Mass Archon, Mass High Templar, Mass Storm. Jesus. His army is looking quite robust. Likewise, NightMare, he has a new 5th base getting up and running. He has an expansion, that's what's important. NightMare has mining, Eba less so. He just redroned. Just redroned, he's trying to get into his Viper production. NightMare has map control, both armies are maxed out, and I would say at this point that NightMare, he survived long enough to embrace Skytoss. He's got 3 more carriers on the way, up to 6. Oh, and this is a brutal loss here. Eba, he's getting caught out. Too many Lurkers. An expensive army here for Eba. He's trying to get away. He's trying to escape. Nidus Worm is on the way. But there's no escaping. At the same time, Eba, he rotates over towards the right-hand side. But there's a mothership. There's a recall. There is a recall available. Lurkers do borrow. Eba has to get the hell out of here. Does pull away. Here comes the yoinks. That's abduction here on the mothership. Ooh, mothership survives. Okay, Eba not quite in position. Eba has to back off again. He cannot fight this head on. Not like this. Yeah, now NightMare, he's reached kind of peak Skytoss here. 6 carriers, 7 Archons. A good amount of storms, feedback to the Vipers as well. No more abductions. NightMare, he's reached his final form. And I'm not so sure Eba can really contest against this. Zealot Rumbai hits the northern expansion. NightMare pushing in. You know, against this kind of army, that's what you need. You know, Broodlords, Corruptors, Investors, Fungal Growths, Vipers as well. The Mothership does overextend. Mothership goes down. Not a bad pickup. Gets a carrier as well. But Eba did lose the base and a mineral line. He lost an expansion. Oof. That brutal storm of the Corruptors. Eba bleeding out 13 drones. Eba no longer has a bank, no longer has the economy. Zealous, they hit the 3rd. More drones going down. And NightMare just pulling Eba apart. Towards the 3rd, towards the natural. Storm goes up. Eva gonna try to engage, but again, he cannot push into the Archons. Oh no! Speaking of the Archons, they go to town on the Corruptors. Corruptors, they dive in, they will clean up all the carriers. Skytoss armies reset, but GG gets called. Eva has nothing left, and NightMare will take the series at 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, NightMare, he was able to defend, able to just kind of fortify himself, stabilize, get a 5th base, and embrace that kind of late game army composition. The mass carrier Archon Skytoss army with Storms, of course, was brutal, and Eba definitely had his own moments in this game. It was very impressive. You know, I don't want to take away from Eba, even though it was a 2-0, Eba played that out very well. He did have his own advantages, did have his own lead as well, did have the supply lead for a lot of that game. If you remember, there was that time where NightMare, he was stuck on purely, I think it was like 4 High Templar and Mass Zealot against 24 Lurkers. It was crazy how many Lurkers there were, but even though there were 24 Lurkers, if you remember, Eba was waiting for his Hive upgrades. He had no Hive upgrades at the time. They were Lair Tech Lurkers. Because of that, Eba wasn't too confident. Eba wasn't feeling too confident without his Lurker upgrades, so he was being a little bit more tentative with how aggressive he wanted to be. Likewise, he was also waiting for his Nidus to finish up as well. So because of that, NightMare was given the time that he needed to actually tech up and actually stabilize and build up, you know, his death ball of an army. And with that, GG. GG, well played. NightMare does take the series, and with that, NightMare advances on to the semi-finals. GG, well played.